Hi, Sandra here, the Misophonia therapist. And in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about tinnitus and misophonia. Of course, many people do have both conditions. And in my clinic, I see a lot of people with misophonia who also have tinnitus, and many people who don't have misophonia who have tinnitus. And tinnitus is defined as the perception of sound in the ears when there is no external source. So in other words, you can hear something that nobody else can hear. And the sounds aren't actually there. And most commonly, it can include ringing, buzzing, or hissing. Now, the sounds can be mild or extreme. Many people with this condition are able to just filter it out and live normal, happy lives, whereas others aren't so lucky. Now, of course, the people that I see are very distressed by their condition, and they might also experience severe anxiety, depressed mood, or just be unable to live normal lives. So what makes some people less able to cope with tinnitus or ear ringing, humming, hissing? Many people who really struggle might also have an underlying mental health condition that makes them more vulnerable, of course. For those with anxiety or sleeping problems, it's likely that they are going to be more hypervigilant, and this, of course, comes from part of the brain that is designed to keep us safe, to keep us alive. And when we hear a sound that we interpret as a threat, the sound might appear to be louder and more intrusive. And the more we try to escape from it, the louder it gets. And this can feed into a vicious circle of chronic anxiety, anger, desperation, and loss of hope that life will ever be happy again. So what has misophonia got to do with this, with tinnitus? There have been studies that show a positive correlation between the two conditions, and it does appear that misophonia may be more likely to affect people with tinnitus and vice versa. And indeed that the severity of the tinnitus may be exacerbated by the misophonia. And if you have misophonia, you are already going to be triggered by certain sounds in your environment that are outside of your control. Common responses include rage and disgust. And if you are triggered by tinnitus in a similar way to the misophonic response, it can become an unbearable situation that can feel impossible to manage and escape from. What we seem to be dealing with here is an extreme emotional response to a sound that is coming from within us. So what can you do if you do have both conditions? And it's important to remember that you are not alone. And there are things that might be helpful that you can try yourself. Activity in the survival part of the brain, which is linked with obsession and hypervigilance, can be decreased with patience and commitment. Some people find that meditating or doing breathwork exercises or yoga can be beneficial. Other people might respond well to talking therapies like hypnotherapy, which is of course what I do, counselling or CBT. In some cases, an audiologist might be able to help. You could take a look at your life. This can give you some golden nuggets. Are your needs being met? Are you fulfilled at home, at work? Are you taking care of your body and your well-being, your mental and physical well-being? Are you seeing your family and friends as much as you would like to? Are you having enough fun and laughter? Do you have a purpose? Sometimes by looking at life as a whole and seeing what might need to be worked on, you can start to empower yourself by taking small steps, small actions. Often when we are generally happier, and I see this all the time with my clients, we feel better able to cope with challenges. And as such, we may find ourselves better able to cope with misophonia and tinnitus. And I hope this has been helpful, and I'll be back tomorrow with more content. Bye for now.